in partnership with CommSec.
So it's July 1. It is the beginning of a new financial year. Happy new financial year to you. Tom Piotrowski, how do we start things off today?
Well, Pete, in somewhat underwhelming terms, I suppose, we've got the futures pointing to a slight loss as far as the ASX 200 is concerned. But look, in terms of reflecting over the course of the quarter, the month, and indeed the last 12 months, the Australian share market has been quite competitive when you can put it up against the performance of other markets, including the US. So in the last 12 months, the index up by a little less than 10%. So quite encouraging in half-year terms, up by the better part of 5%, and in quarterly terms, up by almost 9%, Pete. And that's really what is highlighted in the performances of most indices. It's been an extraordinary quarter. It's been has contained so many elements to it. So to see these indices end as well as they have. In the case of the S&P 500, for example, in quarterly terms, the index up by 10%. That marks the best performance since 2023, the end of 2023. The Nasdaq up by 18%. So that's where the leadership has come from as far as US equity markets are concerned. So you can talk a lot about perhaps defending yourself, about keeping a distance from US assets, but you're leaving out a really important growth lever by not investing in the US and missing out on the tech sector. So that's just been a part of the discussion over the course of the last couple of months, defending yourself against the volatility in US markets. But last night was perhaps a more underwhelming affair. We only saw gains in the order of about 0.5% for the three leading indices. There's progress being made on trade. There's the prospect of lower interest rates. All of these things are fanning US markets to record highs, which we saw in the case of the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq. So in terms of our own market, Pete, it's going to be a somewhat more subdued start to the new financial year. We don't have much in the way of corporate or economic news, but we have seen a little bit of a moderation for the US dollar, which might be helpful for some, but not all commodity prices. The challenge is that oil prices continue to moderate. So they are down by around 0.2%, with oil prices down by from as much as 18% over the course of the last week. So they're trading just north of $65 a barrel. Gold's up by about 1%, and the Aussie dollar benefiting from continued weakness in the US dollar that's trading at 65.8 US cents.
Okay, got it. Thank you, Tom.